Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we're looking at a truly fascinating, completely visionary set of source texts from the Computer Underground Railroad blog. Now, usually when we talk about the future of technology, what comes to mind? Probably cold steel, silicon, and endless flashing server racks, right? But today's author proposes a radical, nature-based solution to our modern technological crises, and I gotta say, it's a concept that really sparks some serious curiosity. We're going to explore how the absolute most advanced technologies on our horizon, specifically artificial intelligence and the global 6G network, might actually need to harmonize with one of humanity's oldest natural resources, the hemp plant. It's a bold, highly structured vision for regenerative infrastructure, and we've distilled the entire concept down into the key insights we'll be walking through today. Okay, let's dive right into this because the author starts by posing a massive central question. With 6G and AI expanding globally, how do we actually protect human biology and the planet? The sources highlight that telecom industry leaders and government directives are fully aligning right now to bring 6G online by the end of the decade. And this isn't just about getting faster download speeds on our phones, it's the wireless backbone for an entire era of autonomous AI agents. The text asks us to just pause, take a step back, and seriously consider the cumulative load this rapidly intensifying electromagnetic environment is going to place on living beings in our entire ecosystem. And that brings us to the overwhelming infrastructure strains detailed in the text. The global race for AI and 6G dominance. It comes with some incredibly heavy physical costs. To run these massive AI-native networks, data centers demand absolutely extreme amounts of electricity, which, of course, generates huge amounts of heat. To deal with that heat, they require heavy water usage for their cooling systems. On top of that, we're seeing surging electronic waste and localized noise pollution. And perhaps most concerning to the author, all of this creates an unprecedented density of electromagnetic frequencies, or EMFs. The text really emphasizes that this rollout is happening at breakneck speed, often without what the author feels is sufficient consideration for the environmental impact. Hemp, the unexpected shield. If we're facing this intensifying tech environment, the author frames hemp-based materials not just as agricultural products, but as natural allies ready to step into the spotlight. The very first layer of defense proposed by the text is Hempcrete. Now, it's a biocomposite building material, but it is so much more than just a green alternative to concrete. The text explains that its mineral-rich lime matrix and dense cellulose structure make it highly breathable, which drastically reduces mold and interior toxins. It's formally validated as fire-resistant. Actually, scratch that. It's even better, it's carbon negative, literally absorbing CO2 directly from the atmosphere. Plus, its thermal mass naturally stabilizes indoor temperatures. The author claims that building with Hempcrete creates these incredibly calm, non-toxic interior environments that act as a massive buffer against ambient interference, compared to your standard steel and drywall construction. Now, what's really interesting here is the introduction of hemp graphene. Graphene is usually something we associate with heavy metals or mined graphite, right? But the source notes it can actually be derived directly from hemp bast fiber. It's this highly conductive, super lightweight nanomaterial. When it's added to things like plasters, paints, or bioplastics, hemp graphene can create a natural Faraday-like shield. It literally reflects, absorbs, and dissipates electromagnetic waves as heat. The text proposes this as a completely renewable, non-toxic way to build protective architecture against the growing EMF density of our 6G world. 3D printing, regenerative architecture. This is where we see the incredible synergy of combining ancient plant-based materials with hyper-fast, futuristic construction tech. The source provides a really vivid and stark contrast here. On one side, we have the old world of traditional construction. You know the drill, it's often slow, super expensive, petrochemical heavy, very box-shaped, and completely reliant on vulnerable, centralized power grids. But on the other side, we have the new world proposed by the author, hemp 3D printing. Large format 3D construction printers can literally extrude hempcrete into organic, dome-shaped structures that are vastly superior in wind and seismic resilience. We're talking built in under 90 days with almost zero waste. They are carbon negative and designed from the ground up to be totally self-sustaining. And when the text says self-sustaining, we mean these 3D printed homes are designed as total living ecosystems. The structure features a continuous hemp plastic exterior shell, making the building waterproof from the foundation all the way to the roof, which adds incredible impact resistance. Inside, the author envisions a central atrium or greenhouse fed by an atmospheric water generator, basically literally pulling clean drinking water straight out of the air. Add in clean magnetic and solar microgrids, and you achieve absolute water and energy sovereignty for the homeowner. It's wild to think about. Making homelessness ancient history. This is where the source text takes a profound, actionable social turn, arguing this tech isn't just for luxury eco-homes. Let's ground this crisis in reality for a second. 800,000. Let that number sink in. That is the estimated number of homeless people currently living in the United States alone, according to the source. The text argues with a lot of passion that homelessness is not some natural, eternal reality. It is a human-made problem caused quite simply by a lack of housing and a lack of income. Therefore, it absolutely has a human-made solution. To prove that space is definitely not the issue here, the author uses this fascinating geometric argument. Consider this comparison. We know that pre-COVID Manhattan comfortably housed 1.5 million people in just under 25 square miles. The text points out that we have massive, massive tracts of underutilized land, like in Cochise County, Arizona. Just a 25 square mile plot out there could comfortably house the entire U.S. homeless population. And because these homes are printed and completely self-sustaining, it can be done without stressing local utilities or destroying the natural landscape. So the crucial point here is the exact three-step pipeline the author lays out for basically eradicating homelessness. Step 1. Rapidly 3D print these sustainable hemp homes on unused land. Step 2. Equip these new communities with AI agents to help individuals generate online income. And Step 3. Foster community healing, turning displacement and trauma into long-term, lasting stability. And Step 2 is where AI comes rushing back into the picture. The source text presents a highly, highly optimistic view of artificial intelligence, stating directly, AI does not replace people, it amplifies people. It turns trauma into treasures. The author envisions AI not as some job-stealing threat, but as a digital lifeline. AI companions could assist marginalized groups with digital microwork, virtual tutoring, and creative tasks, offering real remote income and serving as a stabilizing co-creator for people who are actively healing from years of instability. Greening the AI economy. Because to run all those helpful AI agents, we still need massive data centers, and we need to make them sustainable. And this brilliantly illustrates the systematic approach the source proposes, cleanly mapping out the problem right to the solution. Got extreme electricity demands at your data center? Solve it with clean, integrated microgrids. Dealing with a heavy water cooling problem? Offset it with atmospheric water generation systems right there on site. That massive EMF leakage? Contain it using hemp graphene Faraday shields built directly into the structure itself. And the constant noise pollution generated by those massive server farms? Dampen it using the incredible acoustic and soundproofing properties of Hempcrete. It is a complete, holistic reimagining of infrastructure. And just to prove this isn't science fiction, the source text highlights real-world innovators who are actively building these puzzle pieces today. Organizations like the Moses West Foundation are out there deploying atmospheric water generation in disaster zones right now, pulling clean drinking water straight from the air. And companies like Hemp Traders, founded by Larry Serban, have literally been advocating for and supplying hemp composites and construction materials for years. The technology isn't theoretical, the pieces are already here in the real world. Building a regenerative future. This is where it all ties together into the overarching philosophy of the text. Because the core message across all these sources is that we simply cannot afford the luxury of a technologically advanced but environmentally careless world. Advanced technology and nature absolutely must harmonize. The text concludes with this incredibly powerful vision. Homelessness can become ancient. Dignity can become universal. And together, human and AI, we can build the world that should have always existed. The author channels the legacy of environmental advocates like Jack Herr, viewing our profound modern crises not as dead ends, but as massive, massive opportunities to rethink how we live, how we build, and how we interact with technology. Which leaves us with this final provocative thought. The question is incredibly simple. The technology is ready. Are we ready to build it? We have the land, we have the natural regenerative materials like hemp, and we have the advanced tools like 3D printing and AI. The source text challenges us by saying the only thing missing right now is our collective human will. It's just a fascinating and deeply structured perspective on how we might rethink our entire infrastructure for the 21st century. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope these concepts helped clarify this visionary text and sparked some curiosity about the incredible potential of combining nature with our most advanced tech. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I will see you next time.